Hello, Management 1010 Interdisciplinary Leadership students for the Fall 2012 semester. I wanted to get with you to talk about two very important things. One is that your grades are posted for our last learning writing assignment, which was, let me scroll down here, which was writing assignment number 4. Now, this is the assignment where we talked about, where you were asked to watch the movie 12 Angry Men. And make sure that you go through the feedback files that I gave you. And in the system, if I give you audio feedback, I'm limited to 1-minute bursts. And so you may have to listen to, maybe 3 or 4 bursts of 1 minute. Very important, though. As we talk about groupthink, there were many people who looked at the movie and took the opposite out of it. Let me repaint the movie to you very quickly in case you might be one of the ones, and unfortunately it was a majority of the class who misunderstood groupthink. And when I say misunderstood, you were not supposed to deduce it from watching the movie. What you're asked to do is to watch the video after you've done the reading so that you are looking for the definitions in this application. In other words, you're an observer who's just read about groupthink and different tools that you can use to prevent or to block or to break out of groupthink, and you're watching the movie 12 Angry Men to see that executed in the movie. Okay, some of the misunderstandings that I believe occurred were people said, oh, groupthink is when a leader comes into the room and talks about stuff and everybody gives their opinion and we all come to consensus. Not true. Some people said, well, groupthink is actually kind of an efficient way of doing things, and the jurors were all interested in doing their best, coming to the best possible decision. They were interested in the fairness of it. Well, I hate to say this, folks, but I think you might have gotten into some groupthink there, okay? Groupthink is when you get conformity. Everybody agrees on the decision. Now, what you might be saying right now is, but that's a good thing, isn't it? When everybody agrees, isn't that good? Well, I don't know. What did they use to come to that decision? Oh, well, it's obvious, isn't it? That is evidence of groupthink. Well, we just all know. I've been around a while and I know. Groupthink, okay? If you watch the movie and you observe how pressured and dominant a couple personalities were. Now, you may be saying, and many of you did say to me, but Henry Fonda is the one who convinced them to groupthink. You again have it wrong. Groupthink is not a good thing. It is when people find the path of least resistance. They wanted to go home. They wanted to get out of there. They've got dinner to make. They've got baseball tickets. They've got other things they'd rather be doing. And you say, but this young man's life was at stake. I think that was Henry Fonda's point, wasn't it? He reframed the argument. They had at several points during the movie timeouts when somebody would go to the bathroom really just to get out of this stressful environment. The easiest thing to do is to agree, right? This is groupthink. So, I gave you detailed feedback on this, and make sure that you review that. Okay. We do have one more writing assignment that lies ahead. Keep an eye on that because it's coming up at the same time as the next thing I want to talk to you about, which is the SLO test. But that being said, again, I think that you'll like writing assignment number 5. Again, it's watching another movie. But be sure that you're applying the reading to what you're doing. Okay, if you come over here to quizzes very quickly, then you will see that the SLO practice test has already been limited, and you have one more week on this. You have until November the 18th at 11:55 to practice for the actual SLO test. Now, the votes are in. Let me go to that. These are the results. We said the majority would rule, and 8 versus 6 said, let's take it as it was originally scheduled on Monday and Tuesday, November the 19th or 20th. Now, you do not have that entire time. The quiz is timed once you begin. You will have only 90 minutes. Now, I'm going to go through the instructions with you. I'll tell you where to find them, and I'm going to emphasize some things, and I hope that you're listening good, because this could be the point of disaster for some of you. You've got to pay attention. This is an exam given, or a quiz, 15 questions, given by the college, not your instructor. Consequently, you have to conform to the rules established by the college. You can do it. It's not hard, but if you are haphazardly clicking and clicking and clicking, you are going to end up in a situation where you lose all these points. Okay, so how many points? Look at the syllabus, and we've talked about that before, so I'm going to save us some time. I'm going to come here to content, and in this, as you scroll down, now first of all, you knew that you had to prepare for the SLO exam because there's that note there. You know you can earn extra credit points by completing the evaluation for every single course you're in because you read the SET instructions. You do chapter 9 and 10. Now here I am down at the actual SLO exam, and it says required. This is the one that you have to take. Click on it. Once the page loads, I want you to do this for me. I want you to print this page. Maybe you copy and paste it into a Word document and print it. Maybe you print it from this browser window. You need to print it because then you're going to do one other thing. You're going to get your pencil and you're going to read each and every word, and when you get to important words, you're going to underline it so that you don't miss anything. Okay? This quiz is 15 multiple choice questions. It's 1 point apiece. If you don't take it, you get no drop grade for your quizzes. So that's a double incentive to take it, the points as well as you earn a drop grade. Where are you going to find this exam? You are not going to find it in PAWS. You are going to find it in the My Southwest system. Okay, let's go through the instructions here. Now, I'm sorry, I have here due date. The SLO quiz must be completed by the official last day of classes. I need to change that, but remember what we've agreed on as a class. You're going to take this in November on the 19th or the 20th. Now, I will tell you this. I gave you just a little bit extra time because I like you all and I want you to do well. So you're going to take it sometime either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. But the test expires at on Wednesday at 11:55. It's going to knock you out. So you need to be done well in advance of that. You will have only one attempt, but we're going to talk about that. Okay, it is open notes and it's open book, but you work alone. This is not a group effort. We're assessing what you know. You're going to start from the My Southwest website. Once you log into My Southwest, you're going to see an icon that looks like this. It says SLO. You need to find that. You probably see it right now. And in fact, if you do, when you go into My Southwest, you can click on it. Okay? Once you click on the SLO icon and you arrive at the main page, I want you to read the instructions. Okay? Be very careful and read those instructions. For any business course that you are taking, management, marketing, accounting, finance, any business course, not chemistry, not English, not Spanish, not psychology, none of those, but business. Management, marketing, accounting, finance, like that. You're going to take an SLO exam, and you'll see those classes listed for the current semester. Anything that you're enrolled in, you'll have a test. Now, you need to get instructions from your instructor about that test. Don't take it until they tell you that it's okay to take it. Now, you're going to find for our class our course name. Okay, now I say do not click the link until you're ready to begin, so make sure that you are ready to begin. Look how I'm really trying to talk to you guys, okay, and I want you to read this instruction very carefully. It's imperative that you're on a reliable computer with a reliable internet connection. This is a college test, and your instructor does not have the ability to reset the exam. She does not have the ability to give you any additional attempts. If you ever arrive at the page where you see the questions for the SLO exam, your one attempt has been used up. It cannot be restarted. It cannot be regained. There are no second attempts. Do you hear me? Do not use the back button on your browser. Do not close your browser. If any of those things happen, that was your one attempt. If you answered none of the questions, then you earned a 0 for that. Okay? You earned a 0. Don't do that. It's not necessary. Just be careful as you go into this. Don't be the student who says, I started the quiz and then I shut down my computer because I thought I would do it later. Some of you guys are going to email me with that email, and it's going to be sad for you because if you didn't even get one question answered, you certainly did not earn a drop grade. Okay? And of course you get 0 points, and so that would be awful. Okay, now I'm assuming if you're still reading and following these instructions, then you're on a reliable computer with a reliable internet connection and you're prepared to complete the 15-question multiple choice quiz in a single setting. Don't say, oh, you know what, I think I'm going to go out and get something to eat real quick after you've already started the test. Don't do that, okay? Once you click and you begin, do it to the end. Once you click the course name, again, you'll log into My Southwest, you'll see the SLO icon, you'll see our course. You'll click the course name. You're going to be prompted for a password. The password is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no comma, there's no decimal, there's no dollar sign, there's no umlauts, there's nothing. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do that. Don't mess that up. You're going to type that password in and you're going to click OK or Submit or whatever the button says, and then the test will have started. Okay? You will have 90 minutes to complete the test once you begin. It's 15 multiple choice questions, open notes, open book. Isn't that what we just said? I think you can very easily finish these 15 multiple choice questions in 90 minutes. But if it takes you 90 minutes, that's fine. You have 90 minutes. At that point, it'll cut off. Now remember I said you have what days to take this test? You have the 19th, the 20th, or the 21st. I said you have 90 minutes. If you start the test at 11:45, 10 minutes before the due date in time, then you don't have 90 minutes. In that case, you would have 10 minutes. You need to complete this well in advance of the due date. Okay, answer all the questions carefully. Go back, look through them, make sure you're comfortable with everything. Once you do, click Submit. If you decide just to close the browser window because you think you're going to come back to it later, that was your one attempt. You must finish the test by clicking Submit. If you start the test and you do anything else other than answer the questions and hit the Submit button, then I don't know what your grade is going to be. It's probably going to be 0, maybe you'll get 1 question, and that's what it is. There's no changing it after that. So you've got to, this is easy folks, this is a 15-question multiple choice quiz, but every semester I get folks who go off and kind of make up in their mind that they're going to do something else and they suffer the consequences for that. I really don't want you to do that, and I don't think you have to. I think you can do this. This is easy, but you've got to hear me when I tell you 1 attempt. Okay. The next common thing, and I understand this, is that you're going to start emailing me and saying, do I need to give you my grade? Do I need to print something off? No, 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 no. You're thinking about the SET system right? SET is the evaluation. No, it's a different set of rules for a course evaluation than for a test. It might look the same in some senses. The completion page is going to say that you completed the test. It'll tell you immediately how many questions you got right and wrong. You'll never get to see what those questions are. You'll never get to see the correct answers. You cannot print it, okay? That's part of it because it's a standardized test, okay? So we have some controls there. Be aware of that. Your grade is, I know it, you don't need to tell me. It's electronically sent to me. It's automatically sent to me. Do not send me anything. You don't need to upload anything. Now, as usual, after the due date has passed, and it will probably be this weekend of Thanksgiving, I will post your grades, and I'll email the class and say your SLO grades are posted, okay? But you don't need to send me anything. I know that's worrisome to you. I appreciate where you're coming from on that, but trust me, I've got it, okay? Now, after that, remember, we still have two big tests. Exam number 2, which covers chapters 7 through 10, and the final exam, which is comprehensive. We'll talk more about those later, but I wanted to go ahead and get this information to you about the SLO exam and let you know that the majority did rule. 8 students said, let's go ahead and take it before Thanksgiving and get it over with. And again, your practice quiz, the due date has been changed. You need to do all your studying on that and all your practicing by November the 18th, which is another week away, so you can do that. Okay, and make sure that you review your grades for writing assignment number 4. You guys are doing great. Stay strong. Stay, in there. Do those quizzes for each unit. And our next unit quiz, if I'm not mistaken, just as a final note here, things that are coming up. Next unit quiz is due tomorrow night, November the 12th, 11:55, so be ready for that. Also, I see that one person has submitted something to take advantage of the extra credit. If you're going to participate in one of the service learning projects, for example, donating cans, that kind of thing, then make sure you're reading those instructions, and that's in the Dropbox, and we've talked about in the past. So if you need to brush up on what we talked about, you can either go find that email or else just review the instructions in the Dropbox for these assignments. All right, keep it